Hey guys, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with a quick first impressions video for you on a series of fixed blades called the Bush series, and they're from the Good Knife Company. All right, I'm going to recommend you touch base with Chad over there if you want to get more information. These knives are made by David Mary Custom Knives. And Chad contacted me and said, hey, Jake over at Canadian Cutting Edge is taking a look at some new fixed blades that we're wanting to bring to market. And I wonder if when he's done with them, you would be willing to look at them as well. Share them with your viewers. And I said, that's fine. I can't promise that everything I say will be good, but I'm happy to put them on camera and talk about them. And Chad said, hey, we're confident, that's fine. So I've got these knives here. There are 3 models. I'm going to get everything out of the way and just kind of give you a quick rundown on each of these knives individually, starting with the smallest, which is not really that small, but not huge for a fixed blade for sure. This is the Bush Camp. It's 9 inches overall, 4 1/4 inches on the blade, 4 13/16 on the handle. 4 inches of grip area, reasonably sized knife here. And I actually kind of like this design. Let me just show you a little. What they've done here, and all of these knives are going to have a few things in common. They're all going to have this step up on the spine. All right. And they're all going to be fairly thin blade stock with a convex grind. All of them are also fairly thin behind the edge. And my examples, this one has layered G10. The sheath is not Kydex, but it's a sandwich style Kydex-ish sheath. I think somewhere here I've got written down the actual material. It's Batrum. Maybe I'm saying that wrong, but so let's quickly go through the rest of these. So that was the Bush Camp. All right. Pretty decent looking knife here. These are not cheap. Couple little, I'll try to point these out as we go along, but this pin could have been a little nicer. These are not cheap knives, and so I don't expect to see something like this. I want just a little higher level of fit and finish than what's going on here. And there are a couple little hiccups like that we'll see. Now, I would suggest to you that what we're looking at are prototypes, okay? So I can't say that this is going to be exactly the same. In fact, I have a strong suspicion that it's not. But moving up here now to the larger one, this is the Bush Brute. Same blade stock, different handle material. This is G10 layered with a rubberized material, and I have to say it feels really, really good. All of these are very, very comfortable in hand. This has been used a little bit, and Jake did touch up the edge. Pretty nice. Again, the grind is not totally even, and again, we've got a little bit of a, this pin could be a little bit cleaner in terms of finishing. The sheath is very good. All right, no complaints about the sheath on actually either of these two. Now, these are what I would call the most similar of the two. They really seem to be, like the same overall design language, but one is just a larger version. So that's the Bush Camp and the Bush Brute. These are, kind of mid-tech level knives. So the blades are, being cut out, water jetted, and then sent for heat treat, and then ground and, finished here in Ontario, which is kind of cool. And one of the reasons I was kind of interested in checking these out. Not to mention the overall design and my recent affinity for fixed blades. The last knife that I have to share with you is not going to fit all the way in frame, so I'm going to do my best. This is a fairly large knife. They call this one the Buschetti. And the way, I guess I should have given you the specs on the Bush Brute. I've totally forgotten that at this point. Sorry about that. So let's quickly give you the specs on this guy. 10 3/4 inches, 5 11/16 on the blade, 5-inch handle, and 4 3/8 on the grip. So now that I've got that, sorry, I apologize for that. Now let's give you the specs on this guy. Very, very large knife. 13 inches overall, so I can't even get the whole thing in frame here. So there's the one end, there's the other. Okay, so 13 inches overall. The blade is 7 3/4 inches. The handle is 5 3/16 inches. It does have a pretty generous grip area, which you would expect from a knife like this. The handle is probably the nicest out of all these. It feels great. It's very grippy. It's again done with layering of G10 and a rubberized material, which feels really, really nice in hand. This blade is designed to be a, sort of machete replacement option, so good for slicing through some of the rough stuff. Not so much designed to be a chopper. I will try to do a little chopping with it in testing. This is just a first impressions. I will try to do a little bit of chopping with it to see how it goes. It feels light to me for its intended purpose. However, let me say, if it works, okay, if this slices really well and I can really clear out some brush and stuff with it, then it's actually a pretty huge win, because it'll be very, very easy to use and it's not super heavy to carry around compared to most of the survival knives that I've reviewed on the channel. Like, this is going to be way, way lighter than, say, my Becker BK9 or something like that that's a similar size. All right, the one thing I will say bothered me about this one right away is the grind. As I flip this back and forth, there's a bit of a weird thing happening here with the grind. It's not the end of the world, but it's definitely noticeable. The sheath, again, is that same material. Now, the retention on this sheath is mostly achieved by friction with the blade. It doesn't clip in properly, and so that's something, if I got this knife, I would be having them change that a little bit, or maybe take my own heat gun to it and just squeeze here a little bit to increase that retention. All right, so Bushetti right there, the Bush Brute right here, and the Bush Camp right here. Let's see if I can fit them all in the picture. There we go. Interesting semi-custom sort of mid-tech knives. I really like this design. I really, my initial impression is the thinner blade stock with a convex grind is a great idea. And in terms of using these, I really, really find that appealing. They're all very comfortable in hand. The fit and finish is a little lacking, but I suspect when they go into sort of full production, that will not be the case. Things will be just a little bit cleaner and tidier when we get to that point. If you want more information or you want to buy one of these, I don't know if they're actually available for sale yet, so you could be disappointed, but you can go to goodknifecompany@gmail.com or follow them on Instagram @goodknifeco. It's good_knife_co on Instagram. I will put that information down in the description box so you can find them. And I will thank them for sending these knives along. I do really like getting outside and playing with my knives. So being able to, have these purposefully designed bush knives and be able to, over the next week or two, I'm going to take these out in the forest and see what they can handle. And then I'll come back with a full review of each of these. I don't know if I'll do the review all in one shot. I probably will, just because of time constraints. I don't want to keep these forever, as they're not my knives. But I will spend some time getting to know these knives and come back shortly with a full review. Thanks a lot for watching. Let me know what you think of these in the comments below. And again, thanks to Good Knife Company and Chad over at Good Knife Company for sending these along for me to check out. We'll talk to you soon.